I think we all got a few games we played when we were young and totally forgot about them, till you somehow remembered it again except for its name and tried your hardest to remember it, so you type some details you still know into Google and hope for the best. Something that is almost impossible nowadays because Google just straight up sucks now and most likely will never be fixed. Yay. I wish I could tell you a long story about how I found the game again and make it sound like a total adventure, but all I did was type in Biene. You can guess what Biene stands for, but I will show you a picture of the mascot of my favorite football club, so it's even easier to find out what Biene stands for, point and click adventure and various other things like that, and eventually ended up seeing a YouTube video and knew, holy goddamn, that's what I was looking for. Fuzzy und Floppy, auf der Jagd nach der goldenen Biene, a game you most likely never heard of before, and I wouldn't blame you for it. It's one of the rare games that were made in Italy. How many games do you know that were made over there? I didn't know a single one till I looked up the wiki page of it and saw they made Sid the Dummy, one of the worst games I've ever played, for a video about the worst Wii games ever. There are some more underrated games such as I'm Scared or Baldo 2 though, and some decent Ubisoft games. Sadly, no page for Fuzzy and Floppy, who actually have 3 whole games but only the adventure about the Golden Bee was ever localized for other countries, so the other 2 are only in Italian and maybe one day I shall learn Italian just to be able to play them, and then make a translation of them too so others can enjoy them. This isn't really gonna be a review or something like that, but more like a narrated playthrough where I just want to show you what happens in the game. Right off the bat, you can already see its amazing use of color, which sounds really sarcastic, but I really actually like it. Most of the time it just uses random colors for all kinds of things, and it's not the fault of modern PCs because they can't probably display it or something like that. This is what it looked like back in the day too. One day, Fuzzy and Floppy decide to help their friend Dingbat to sort out his attic and he's nowhere to be seen. You can't just have someone help you out with something like that and not also help. They find a nice ring though, with a living bee inside of it. To me that should be illegal, poor little bee. It gets even worse though when you later find out the ring is like at least 500 years old, so it lived inside of the ring for such a long time. How did it even survive? I'm not gonna start talking about such dumb plot holes though, because I'm not called Cinema Sins. Because I don't sin. Before it can be set free though, you get warped by 2 birds because that bee is actually some legendary bee that can lead anyone who has her to the legendary hive of golden money. Shouldn't it be golden honey? Even if it actually brings you money, it should still be honey because it just sounds better in combination with bees. So you get beaten up and shoved into a chest. God, I wish that would be me. And now it's time to play the game. Find the key. It functions like a classic point and click adventure, but a really simple one. There's no inventory or anything like that. Most of the time you just click on things and drag them to their destination, like this fake key. The game really got me here. It's the cute kind of game where clicking on different things also makes different things happen, sometimes at least. Clicking onto the alarm clock makes it ring, the plushie just burps into your face and the soap just flies around like an alien spaceship and breaks everything. You just want to click everything to see what happens. I had a couple of those games like the Marziana. I tried finding the case and CD of Fuzzy and Floppy and couldn't find it in the basement but found this instead, a game I always looked for online and I could never find it. Sadly I don't have a disk drive anymore so I can't try it out, and even after knowing the name now I still can't find anything about it online. Luckily, in the case of Fuzzy and Floppy, some user from the Internet Archive recompiled the game to make it work on Windows 10 or 11. Sadly, only the English version because I would have loved to experience it in German again, like when I was a kid. The thing is, it is prone to crashing sometimes and having a couple of other little bugs that made it a bit harder to play. So the key you are looking for ends up being in a dumpster and you need to light a match to see inside of it. You do it by dragging the mouse against it, how immersive, but it can happen that your match just disappears instead. So you have to reload the game and hope this time it works, or maybe the time after that time. After a bunch of tries it finally worked and oh no, a flat tire. I love how the game kinda breaks the fourth wall by them just looking at you and expecting you to do all the work. Well, you will have to after all, especially since you're the one who fucks up and can't put the wheel back onto the car that looks really badly designed. I would not feel safe inside of that thing. Here, you can also experience one of the cooler aspects of the game. There are different solutions sometimes that you can use to skip parts of the game, but why would you want to do everything correctly? The game tells me to not touch the wheel, but I am a rebel so I touched it and made it explode. The thing is, you can just use the magnet to pull the nails away so you don't have to watch them getting into a taxi. If you're a speedrunner, that's pretty important to do it that way, I guess, to save some time. Also, I love the animation of him just flying like this. Look at him go. You know, I miss those times when I could see a cartoon character swallowing too much water and getting a big tummy and thinking, haha, that's funny, when I was young. Nowadays, when I see something like this, I think that there's actually people out there who are into this kind of thing, that people are actually attracted to this. Yes, I'm king shaming you if you like this. Some things deserve to be shamed. Just how I can shame Fuzzy for using a bad word here. Swearing in a kid's game? No way. He swears because he most likely won't know the number plate of the car from the evil guys, unless you have beaten the game before and have written it down for your next playthrough, because that's actually possible. It also teaches you that not everyone knows everything on the internet, since he's using the internet to find out more about the plate, basically asking people to dox the bad guys. What if Fuzzy and Floppy are actually the evil people here? Luckily, a neighbor has taken a picture of the number plate though, and since he's not home right now, you just climb into his open window. I mean, every second counts, but that's trespassing. You can't just do that. They're doing it for a good reason, so I guess that's allowed. As long as your cause is right, then you can do anything. If we ignore the butler, why didn't they just tell him it's really important and he would let them in probably, hopefully. I mean, a butler shouldn't, but you know, if they explain the story, he would. For some reason, I also always thought they're brother and sister, but once you jump into the window with Floppy, you can see how much it turns on Fuzzy, which means they're not related, hopefully. Or maybe she just really loves seeing him climbing trees, I don't know. Even though at home they have a picture of their parents on the wall, I think those are their parents. At this point, I don't really care if they're related or not. Does it matter? Maybe. It shouldn't promote incest, but you know, what do I care? If you are easily scared, then better close your eyes because the next part will spook you out of your mind. Visiting the evil mansion of the evil guy who loves to do evil things. You know a person is evil when they have an evil magical sword made out of evil eyes protecting their evil mansion. Too bad that evil people love to buy evil decorations like guns or lighters to light up the evil candles to burn down the evil eye sword. It's really fun to say evil. Warning, you are about to see the scariest jump scare ever. And I'm not afraid to say that it probably got me as a kid. I most likely peed my pants, can't remember anymore. I was a really big scaredy cat back in the day. Nowadays I got nerves made out of steel. Not really, sorry for lying. I'm still really bad when it comes to horror. The little ghost just kidnaps Fuzzy and Floppy and hangs them. Luckily not around their necks. It's still a game for kids after all. Listen to this. I just love bonking sounds in video games or movies or anything that can have them, except for in real life because there it does not sound as funny, unless you maybe use a squishy toy. So you just free them so they can just close your game. And instead of having a cool puzzle that you have to solve to get the password for the safe, you just burn it open. That's a bit lame, isn't it? But hey, maybe that's the way that criminals like these two prefer it. At least they're not stealing money away from the evil guy and instead just find the map that we need to find out where the golden hive of the golden bee hides all that golden money. The only problem and the biggest question here is, where did the blood come from? Is it even blood? Is it like candle wax? Even though they put the candle away and it shouldn't be able to do it, why even include this when the paper is right there in the trash can to pull it off? And yes, it bugged again like the dumpster. You just wash away the wet substance and problem solved. Why? Why was this included? It doesn't even require 1% of my brain and that's as much as I can use anyways. But we find out that our destination is the island of Tomba Tomba, already foreshadowing that the PlayStation 1 hit game Tomba will get a sequel since both of these games released in the same year pretty much, were also called Tombi here in Europe. You know, the game that is mostly known because of a certain incident nowadays. It also leads to my favorite part of the game, the plane minigame. Try to avoid the bullets and rockets, but it eventually can't be done anymore, probably. Unless you have beaten enough Toho games, which I have not really, only a couple of them. My favorite Toho character is Ryzen. I just really love bunnies. Maybe that's why the Chiesta sisters from Omineko were also my favorite characters from there. Every game needs bunnies, and bunny girls. I love how the game doesn't even make Fuzzy and Floppy do some kind of crash landing or something like that. They don't even try to save other people like the guy with the green eyes. I wonder why everyone else has normal eyes and his eyes are green. You're an unfunny person if you think about weed at this point. I am unfunny too though, so that's fine. At least I don't make weed jokes. And what even happened to Fuzzy's lips here? Why is the inside blue? Why do her lips look like that? Not like it matters, all it matters is that we can escape, and what's a better way to escape than crashing the game? Luckily the game has tons of passwords you can use to skip to specific parts of the game, since the game does not save normally. Boom goes the plane. You don't even try to save anyone else. Like I said, you're only helping yourself, which feels a bit crazy in a kids game. For me, in a game like this, you should show kids that, hey, we have to save everyone, find a way to do that. They really crashed this plane with no survivors. Almost. We survive by falling into the ocean by using our parachute while everyone else just dies. So should the shark be over there since there must be a lot of blood? But why is the shark their only problem here? The island we need to get to is still pretty far away. I'm not a good swimmer, so most likely I would not reach that before drowning. Or maybe I'm too down on myself and it's easily reachable for a normal person. So we gotta look around the island and it has a cute little hut with a skeleton relaxing. Every skeleton relaxes, I guess. There's not much else to do as one except trying to scare people. Did you know there's a skeleton inside of you right now? Pretty damn scary. So we find some flares inside of a box that we easily could have smashed open without a screwdriver, but it's way cooler this way, and with the flares we can see there's the bow the skeleton used to come here. Wow. So we just jump into the dark without throwing a second flare to light the place up. Could have gone really wrong. What if they hit their heads? Just like when we crashed the boat and now need oil to make it go back into the ocean, which would also probably run down the rock into the ocean. So we are polluting the ocean. Add another crime to the endless list of these two. Instead of even trying to open up the oil barrel like a normal person, we just shoot it. But sadly we need even more, but we are out of bullets, oh no. Where could more ammo be? Inside of a big chest that crashes the game when opening it because the game does not want me to read the Bible inside of it. Or maybe it crashed because I'm not a religious person and the game wanted to punish me for it. The thing is, all the other crashes were normal. This one actually tried to destroy my eardrums. Listen to the sound it made, but I made it way more quiet for you so you don't have to experience the trauma that happened to me when it just blasted at full volume. Why is the ocean pink suddenly? Sure, we filled it up with some oil, but that doesn't turn the ocean pink normally, I think. After avoiding some submarine missiles, we arrive on Tomba Tomba Island and get eye cancer when looking at this and pushing the bushes away to get through the jungle, and we finally arrive at the temple of the Golden Bee after such a long time, like 50 minutes. To get inside, we gotta pick a flower that makes a noise and it just works like drugs, I guess. I don't take those, but it starts to smoke and it does magic. Inside, just jump over the floor while randomly picking tiles and eventually you will get your hands kicked on a lot while not caring at all. Like, shouldn't it hurt? Shouldn't he drop down? Maybe he's a masochist. But it doesn't matter, the evil guys forced the bee to unleash the hidden gold, which also unleashes nature's wrath because of our own human greed. Humans truly are the worst monsters there are, even though these two are birds. The volcano breaks out and the evil guys just fucking die while we have to escape now. And if you fail, you get to see one of the most unhinged scenes in any game ever. Or maybe it's actually not really unhinged, but it caught me off guard. You have to click on these stones in the perfect timing, and trust me, it's harder than it looks like. Or maybe the recompiled version of the game made it way harder. After 5 tries or so, you actually get a game over, and I will have to show you what happens when you do.
Congratulations! You have succeeded in incinerating our hero, a character who would have brought fame and fortune to the author. You've made the author cry, and all his huge and hungry family too. If you don't care about any of this, click on the stone hanging round the poor author's neck. If, on the other hand, you would like to save the author and his hungry family, try again by clicking on the button below. If you have changed your mind, click on the yellow button. If you...
I don't think I have ever been guilty tripped by a game before like this, but this came really close to me feeling like that. I lied, it didn't. I did not care at all about the creator's big and hungry family because their whining is just too annoying. I did not remember this at all, even though I'm 100% sure I have seen this as a kid. I must have. Or maybe I perfectly did the stone skipping as a kiddo, which means I got way worse at video games now. Maybe I just deleted it from the deepest depths of my memory because it actually made me feel bad as a kid. I had to see this like 3 times because I kept failing and you can't skip it. I didn't give up though, because giving up is for losers and you are not a loser, just like me, even though I am one. So I kept trying till I finally got it and the credits were denied by the game because it just gave me ear damage again and crashed, so I was not able to watch the credits since it robbed me of all my motivation to play the last part again. I wanted to end the video like this, where I just played a clip of the crash, but it doesn't feel right to end the video without some kind of actual goodbye. Crashes aside, it was a fun experience, playing something that I haven't played in such a long time, that's also pretty obscure. I'm a bit sad that I found out the other Fuzzy and Floppy games never got translated into another language than just Italian. They truly deserve it. Not really, maybe a tiny bit. In its own little quirky ways, it has its charm. The weird use of colors, the bad voice acting, and just overall it feels so amateur-like that I could never hate on it, even with how simple everything is, since it was made for kids. It looks like it was made in Paint, and I used Paint to draw Nia on the thumbnail to emulate me playing a one in Paint back in the day, and it made me realize how everyone can be an artist nowadays, at least digitally. When you use Clip Studio Paint, it's so easy to draw lines because of the stabilization feature, but on Paint you don't get that luxury. With that said, before I talk about other things that don't fit the video, I hope you enjoyed the video and will have a good day, a good night, or whatever fits your time zone, and maybe you can tell me about some of your obscure games you have played in your childhood in the comments, if you want to. Only if you want to. Bye bye.